Hey, folks. Dave back here, Studio B, Sunday night here. Hope you guys had a good weekend. It was an okay weekend over here. I'm getting sucked back into my hockey, if you will. I had a brief stint with bank shot basketball. Well, it wasn't so brief. I played a lot of bank shot basketball. But tonight, we're back to hockey, and I want to show you something that's breaking news. Once in a while, we have breaking news here on the channel or the podcast. And so we have that here tonight. And hopefully, you will enjoy what we're about to announce here. So, this should be live, by the way. This should be live, so you can play along if you want. But if I go to my overhead camera, without further ado, okay, I want to build the suspense a little bit, okay, because it's fun to announce something new here. So as Barbara comes by and Micah comes by as well, thanks for coming by, people. As we have a fun announcement here. And all right, let's just get right to it. I'm not going to make you guys wait more. Let's go to my overhead camera. And what do we have? Oh, wait. We have to do this, right? We have to do this. 1 second here. 1 second here. We have to do this. Yep. All right, we're going to do this. All right. What is it? All righty. So what do we have going on here? Okay. John, we have the drum roll for you. As a few people come by here. And it is Red Ice Hockey. The 72 Summit Series has come to Red Ice Hockey. How cool is this? I may or may not have dropped a bug in John's ear over the past week and said, hey, John, 72 Summit Series would be great. It's only a couple of teams. What do you say? And much, I don't want to say to my surprise. I wasn't surprised, but it was a nice. Today it was kind of nice when he sent me a message. He goes, guess what? And he goes, I have this ready for you if you want to show this off tonight. So here we go here. So again, so John's in the chat. Now this should be live. If I'm not mistaken, as Mark comes by here as well, and Tom too. Thanks for coming by. Joe as well. And yeah, I'm not that good with the drum rolls here. I'm doing the best I can. It's still all new. As everyone's chatting around here tonight. So let's see what we got here. So this is the Russia-Canada Summit Series, 1972, if you will. And let me see, where are the goalies here? I haven't played this in a while. Well, we know the goalie's going to be Tretiak over here, and over here it alternates between. Oh yeah, there we are, Dryden and Esposito. Here we are. It's been a while. So Tretiak is going to play every game, and Dryden again. The best way to play this is just kind of go back and find out who played when. I think Dryden played one, and then Esposito played two, and they didn't quite alternate, but it was pretty close. But we're going to play some of that here and see how it goes. It's been a while since I have played the Red Ice Hockey, but we're going to get that back on the table here tonight and see how the Canadians and the Russians do. All right, so we're going to put Dryden in net over here because this is game one we're going to play here in Canada. So we're going to have the Russians go first. So we're going to say the USSR, and the home team will be Canada. And let's play a little bit here. I'm not going to go too crazy with the game times and the whole bit, but I will get the goal scorers and some assists. And if I'm playing it wrong, let me know. It's been a while since I played this. Here's Glenn comes by, and AP comes by as well. And so this should be available. John, correct me if I'm wrong. This should be available on powderbluesports.com, I believe it is. So she was supposed to get this uploaded right before I went online. So you can grab these teams and play along. So let's get going here. We're going to start with Russia. And again, it's been a while since I played. So here we go. And we're off and running. And I think game one was in Montreal, right? So we're in Montreal. Oh, look at that. We had a stack. It's been a while since they had a stack, And it is in the files section of the Google Drive through Powder Blue Sports, okay? And so let's take a look here. So we're going to read off the offense, and we have an offense of 16, right? Offense 16. So we come over here, and we go offense 16. So they're going to get a power play. they're going to get a power play. So we're going to roll on the power play, and I believe it's the offense power play, correct? And so we're going to get an 8. And an 8 over here is nothing. So I'm not going to really put, you know what I'll do is I'll put offense here. I'm not going to do all the rolls here. I'm just going to do the segment score. So the segment score is nothing. So Russia comes away with nada. Niet. I guess it's niet as I'm looking for, right? Niet. All righty. So now we have Canada rolling, and they're going to be defense, and that's going to be defense 7. So we're going to go defense 7. And the 7 over here is, that's going to be 2 goals. Yeah, the 7s are good for Canada. That's going to be 2 goals. So the segment score will be 2. And let's find out who got those goals, shall we? Let's get the goal scorers here. Okay. So we have 07. So of course that's going to be Esposito. So Esposito gets the first goal. And let's find out who's going to get the assists here. So we have 85 on the assist. And so that's going to be Frank Mahovlich. And if you really wanted to, there is ways to find out who played in this game. So if you wanted to ignore anybody that didn't play in the game and get the actual stats, there is a way to do that. I'm not going to do that tonight. So let's see if we have a second assist. No, we don't, because it's over 51. So I believe that's how the assists work. So it's just going to be 1 assist on that one. And so right now it's going to be 2. Oh, we got to get the second goal, though, right? We got the second goal. And the second goal is going to be 19, and that's Esposito again. So Phil S. Oh, I got this wrong here. Assist is Frank Mahovlich. And so Espo's going to get them both. So Espo with both goals. So I screwed this up already. I usually have my own score sheet. That's why. And this won't really work. Okay, so Esposito with both goals. I've already screwed up my score sheet. A 45 is going to be Jean Rattel. And again, if you wanted to, you could go back and see who actually played in these games and kind of work around that. And do I have a 56? No, so it's just going to be 1 assist. So we have 2-0 here for Canada on the first place. This is a little different than it was in game 1, wasn't it? So Canada reading off the defense gets that 7, and that's 2 goals up here. That's a big roll for them. All right, Russia trying to get back in it here. So they have an offense, and it's going to be offense 11. Offense 11, so they're going to get a power play try. And off the offensive power play, that's an 11, and that's absolutely nothing. So Russia comes away with nothing here. There we go. Phil comes by as well. AP comes by as well. As we're showing off the new Russia-Canada 2 set here. And Benjamin Hatfield quit. Yeah. Well, again, you could go through the roster and just kind of just cross out whoever didn't play in certain games if you want to get an as-played results, if you will. Sometimes that's what we do, because that's what we do. All right, so Canada now. Canada's going to roll, their offense again. Well, offense for the first time. And it's going to be a 15. Offense 15. And that's a goal. Canada will get a goal here. And I'm not doing this right now. I'm just going to get a final score. I'm not too concerned about the shots right now. I just want to get a final score. So Canada scores again. Let's see if Esposito gets the hat trick. Yes, he does. Phil Esposito with 3 goals, and he is lighting it up right now for Team Canada. And an 0-1. Now, I think, so that would be Esposito. So I think what we said is if you roll yourself on the assist, that's going to be unassisted. Is that what we decided, or was it a double zero? I forget what it was. So I'm just going to go unassisted on this one. That's how I'm going to play that. So Esposito can't assist in his own goal. So I'm just going to call this an unassisted goal. That's kind of how I'm going to play my homebrew here, if you will. Okay, so now Russia trying to get back in it. 3-0, by the way. 3-0. And so we have an offense 13. So we have an offense over here and a 13. So that'll be a power play. And they had a ton of power plays. That's why you see so many power plays here, because they had the refs were not kind to Canada. And once in a while, they deserved it. For the most part, though, the refs really were kind of pushing the Russians to win that series, especially in Moscow. So you kind of know if the refs didn't get involved, would that series have been even close? So on the power play, we have a 5. And that was 5 offense. That's going to be absolutely nothing. So Ken Dryden getting it done right now in the nets. 3-0. Offense again, and that's going to be offense 11. Offense 11. There's nothing. So finally, the Russians hold them off. All right, so this will be the end of the first period here. So we have offense 10. That'll be another power play. And that power play is going to be 12. And they will pick up a power play goal here. So that's going to be a power play goal. So I'm going to little P over here, and then it's going to be they'll get 1 goal. All right, so so I'll do this score at the end of the period is what I'll do. So now Canada back on the attack. So we have defense now for Canada, and we have a 16. And a 16, on the defense is a power play. So Canada goes on the power. Oh, wait, 16. No, nothing over here, right? The defense on Russia. So that is. So the score after 1, it's going to be for USSR and Canada. So they have 1 and it's 3. So it's 3-1 Canada after 1. So they're really taking it to the Russians here at home. They're taking this very, very serious. As I got my Digital to Dice mug here with my decaf coffee. It's already cold. It doesn't last very long. I think I made it like 20 minutes ago. We were watching the end of some stupid series we're watching on Apple TV or something like that. It's so slow moving. It's like, just get to the point. All right, second period action here in Montreal. And we're going to get offense. And what's that? 10. Offense 10 for Russia. That'll be a power play chance. So Russia on the power play. They already have 1 power play goal, and that's going to be a 15. And that'll be, wait, over here. Nothing. Offense power play is nothing. Okay. Canada with the puck now. They will go offense. Offense 10. Offense 10, and that is nothing. So we will play on. And again, you can write down all the roles here to keep track of everything if you want. And I'm kind of not. I'm kind of skimming through it here as Joe Cards comes by. So we have defense. Right, they're up here. We got defense now, and that's going to be 6. Defense 6, and that's a goal. That'll be a goal here for the Russians. Oh, I never figured who got the Russian goal, did I? Let's get that. Let's go back to that first period here, and we'll get that Russian goal. 75. It's going to be Anderson. I think he was a defenseman, actually. So Anderson with the goal. And so that was first period. So these are all first period. I'm not going to do the times. I don't really need the times. In the 38 on the first assist is going to be Yakushev. All right, so Anderson is going to put I'm going to put Yaku. Okay. Now, is there a second assist? 91, no. So that's going to be the first goal. Now, in the second period, that's when they get their next goal. So we'll keep track of that. I usually just do the scores on the stats here in a while, so I'm a little rusty with this. So Petrov is going to get the goal here in the second period to make it 3-2. And let's check assists for Petrov. So we have a 26, and that'll be Maltsev. I was getting good at my Russian names. I really was. And that'll be just the 1 assist as well. So Yakushev for Maltsev. And so it's 3-2 now as we go into segment number 6, right? Again, I forgot how much fun this game was. And John is sitting by the pool. Oh, man, yeah. My neighbors just put in a pool. We could see them jumping in the pool today. I was like, oh, man, it's so nice. But I don't go in pools all that often. And John says he loves red ice. Yep. The Uber driver is pick up and drop off. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to have to use that. Yep. There's a couple other ones I know, but it's not for a family audience. It's like R-rated. All right, so the offense for Canada, and there will be an 11. Offense an 11, and that's going to be absolutely nothing. 3-2. We continue on in the second. And this is game one, by the way. So this will be game one. And so for Russia, we have offense, and it's going to be 7. And that's going to be a power play attempt. So power play for Russia. We have a 13 on the power play, and that's absolutely nothing. Canada still with a 3-2 lead here in game one. And now Canada will get defense, and they will get defense 13. And a defense 13 is, that's nothing too. So after a quick start by Canada, Phil Esposito with 3 goals in that first period, things have quieted down, and Russia's kind of clawed back in it. So we have offense 12. And that's going to be a power play attempt. Power play attempt is 8, and that will be nothing. So it remains, so they got 2 now, so they have 2 at the end of the period. Canada looking for that insurance goal late in the second period. And so now they have a 14, offense 14. That's going to be a power play chance for Canada. So they get a rare power play here. And so 15 on the offensive power play is a power play goal. So they will cash in here, and that will make it up here 4-2 Canada after 2. Let's see who gets that 4th goal. It's been all Esposito, and a 47 is going to be Yvan Cournoyer. So I'm going to put Yvan Cournoyer will get the goal, and the assist. Esposito will get that assist, so that's a second period goal. So Espo will get 1 assist. Is there a second assist? No, there's not. So stingy on the assists here. And here we go. All right, so we go to the third period here in Montreal, and it is 4-2. It's never humid in Colorado Springs. John just posted that in the chat room. When I was out there, John, for the first 3 days, I did nothing but drink water. I went in that lobby and I drank so much water, it wasn't even funny. And then finally on Sunday when I get up, I wasn't craving the water, but it took me 3 days to hydrate in that environment. Just saying. All righty, so let's get back here. So Russia goes on the attack. They get a defense 9. Defense 9. That'll get a power play attempt. Again, they had a lot of power plays. And we're going to get off the defense power play. That's going to be a 6. And that will be over here. No goal. No goal on the power play. I always forget to check the right column sometimes. Took you 3 months to get used to Colorado. I don't doubt that. All right, so we got an offense 13. Offense 13, and that is nothing for Canada. So 10 is offense 14. And that'll be a power play attempt on the offense. And we're going to get a 13 here on the power play on the offense. And, almost, but close, but no. Close, but no vodka. No vodka. And so we have a defense now. Defense 10. And defense 10 is nothing. So we go to the last couple of stages here of the third period. 4-2 Canada as Brock comes by. Good to see you, Brock. For the last segment, roll the leading team first. Yeah, okay. I think I like to do that. It kind of gives you some drama. Okay. So we have a defense. And we have 9. Defense 9. And that's going to be a power play. Power play 8 on the defense. And that will be nothing. So Canada rolls now. Can they go up 5-2? So they're going to get a defensive roll, and that's going to be a 13. Defense 13, nothing. Okay, so we're going to roll Canada first this time. They're up 4-2. Let's see if they're going to put this out of reach or not. All righty. So Canada rolling with the offense 5. Offense 5 is a power play chance. On the offense power play, put this away. A 15, and yes, they will get the power play goal, and that'll make it 5-2. And with that, that's going to pretty much seal the deal. What I'm going to do is kind of play era-centric here, and 5-2. They never pulled the goalie back then like that. So we're just going to roll the last segment. Let's find out who got that goal though. 50. So it's going to be Cornway again. So Yvonne Cornway. So Espo with 3, Cornway with 2. On the assist here, it's going to be Esposito. So Esposito figures in all 5 goals. Is there a second assist? Oh, no, there's not. Okay. So Russia will roll here just for giggles here. So Canada's going to finish up with 5. And Russia has 2 right now. And so they're going to get an offense. And they're going to get 11. And they'll get a power play chance to kind of finish off things here. And they will get 13, and they will get nothing. So the final score, game 1 of the Summit Series, will go to Canada. And they lead this one 5. They win it 5-2. Esposito with 3 goals, Cornway with 2. And that's kind of how this one shakes out as Brock comes by. Someone said Marco was sniffing around over here. Is there a Marco sighting? Is there? I didn't see a Marco sighting. If he did, he snuck in under the radar. That's what he likes to do. And Christopher comes. Oh, Marco, are you here? Oh, Polo. Anyone? Anyone? All right, so Canada 5-2 win. Let's play game 2. All right. So here we go. So this is game 2. This was in Toronto, I believe. And so the Soviets come over here to Toronto. And let's see how this goes. Get another drink. All right. So again, you can grab this right now if you want to get these 2 teams. They are available on the powderbluesports.com Google Docs. You can grab these teams and play along. And if you did get them and playing, how you doing? Let me know what your results are. This is the breaking news, Phil. The 2 new teams for Red Ice Hockey. This is the breaking news. We have the Summit Series now available for Red Ice Hockey. That is the breaking news. How much bigger news can you get? This is awesome. This is the funnest series that you can play. It's 8 games. I've played this in so many things. I have a homebrew copy of this in Shootout Hockey. I have this in, I think I have it in Strat. I don't think I have it in APA, and I think I have it in Hockey Bones. So I love playing this here. I really do. I'm trying to think if I have it in any other games. I don't know if I need to nudge Grant now to get that in the 49 Quick Decks Hockey. That would be a fun long play game. That would be a fun long play game in the Quick Decks. All righty, so game 2. Let's play game 2 here in Canada, right? And let's see how this goes. So Russia. I was going to say Russia with the ball, but they have the... so it's going to be a 15. You know how we do this? This is like a cribbage thing. 4, 5, 6. I played so much cribbage. That's like 15-2, if you will, with cribbage. So that's how that goes. So we have the offense, 15, and that's absolutely nothing. So Tony Esposito stoning them here in game 2. Yep. Yeah, the first 4 games of the series were in Canada. I think it was Montreal, Toronto, Winnipeg, and Vancouver, was it? Was what it was? And then all 4 games were in Moscow, out in the west, the east, rather. I guess that's the direction you're going. All right, so we have a defense 6 for Canada. And a defense 6 is a goal. They will score. So Canada on the board first here in game 2, much like game 1. 93, Brad Park from the point. Brad Park, my favorite Ranger and one of my favorite Bruins, Brad Park. In fact, I've always wanted a Brad Park hockey jersey. I want the white or the blue. It didn't matter. My buddy Ray down in Connecticut sent me a blank Rangers jersey. I was thinking about dolling it up, but then part of me just wants to get the whole. I think that's like Christmas this year. Brad Park #2 Ranger jersey. And I don't know if I want to go blue or white. I don't know. Maybe I'll get one of each. There was a place one time that had a sale, and that's where I got my Seals jersey. It was like buy one get one, and I got a home and away Seals with my name on it. So I might do that with Park. All right, so Brad Park will score the goal, and that's in the first period. And let's just see who gets the assist on that. 32 is going to be Henderson. We'll get the assist. So Henderson will get that assist. And is there a second assist? No, there's not a second assist. So Park from Henderson. And the Rangers trading Park was one of the worst. Well, I wouldn't say that. Neither team won the cup after that. No, neither Boston nor New York won the cup. In fact, and they both got there. The Bruins got there a couple of times, and Montreal beat them, and then the Rangers got there, and Montreal beat them. But that 78-79 seasons with Espo, that was a great season for the Rangers. So I think both teams did pretty well. All right, so we're back to Russia, and we have a defense 9. Defense 9, and that's going to be a power play try. So Russia goes on the power play. And a power play of 14 on the defense is, it's a power play goal for Russia. So Russia is on the board with a power play goal. And let's see who's going to get this power play goal to get Russia on the board to tie the game. And 27 for Russia. So it's going to be Vladimir Shadrin. So to much of our chagrin, it is Shadrin. Shadrin or Shadrin. 71 will get the first assist. So Luchenko, I think he's a defenseman. I played that series so many times. I start to know some of these guys. And we do have a second assist. And 56 is going to be Petrov. So here in the first period, Shadrin. So we're going to just say like that was 17 minutes. And we're going to say like this was 14 minutes, just so I can. Actually, it should be backwards. This should be. It don't matter the time. It should be time elapsed in Petrov. All right, so they just scored first, so we know that. All righty, so Russia ties it up here in Game 2 in Toronto. And Chris, what was Christopher says you have the Summit Series for Lance Hafton's Hat Trick Pro Hockey. It's a text-based DOS computer game, and he has the all-time international teams of Hockey Blast. I think that is in Hockey Blast. I think I do have it in Hockey Blast. I need to remake those cards. I might have. I remade a lot of my Hockey Blast cards to look really nice, so I should do that Summit Series. Is what I should do. Maybe you're looking for Marco Walter for season basketball updates. Yeah, I was talking to ST about that. And he was talking about how he's pushing Marco too. And I guess Marco's going to do some work on. He's finishing up some projects right now or work or something. He wants to get back on that, Oh, this is breaking. Okay. All right. Well, you want to be that way, right? You want to be that way. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. And we're going to round the corners. All right. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. There we go. All right. We're taking a break here. It's a TV timeout. We have a Molson beer commercial. There you go. Is everyone happy now? Is everyone happy? As we got this here. These are so much easier. I can do these in one hand. When I do the payoff pitch and the bank shot, I got to put it on the table and step on this thing. Those cards are so thick. Oh, I screwed up the one over here. Let me fix this here. There we go. Okay. So what do we think now? Yeah, we have rounded corners. Oh, I know. What was I thinking? I was so worried about the breaking news that Phil didn't even realize it was breaking news, right? And now I forgot to round my corner. Now the corners are all set. Now we're looking good, right? Now we have rounded corners. Hockey Blast might have this. It might have this actually. Hang on 1 second here. I will check that. If I go play folder. Or is it in Hockey Blast? I forget. Hockey Blast. Yes, it is. Oh wait. No, wait. It might not be. Um, I'm looking. I'm looking. I think I have them. I don't know if they sold them on the website. I do have them. And I do have the lineups too, but I can't find the cards. I can't find the cards in my if they're PDF, I don't have them. I have the printed. I think they might have been sold on the website. I think. Cuz I'm not finding the PDFs here, so maybe that's something they sold on the website. So someone will have to check that out. That's something that somebody made and it was a free set, but I would have the PDF, but I don't have the PDFs here. But I think I did play this in Hockey Blast, I think. Um, Rounded red ice, my life is complete. Yeah, that's what we have to do, you know. I think you're right. I think somebody like Rob or Mike created those for Hockey Blast. I think you're right. I just can't find them. I couldn't. Well, in a quick look, I couldn't find them. All right, so we have a 1-1 game here. We're still early in this first period, and Canada's going to get a defense 10. And they're going to get absolutely nothing here. So we're going to go to the third column here. Okay, Keith never sold them, so that was something that somebody created that. And I apologize, I don't know who created them. All right, so Russia now, offense 11. Offense 11, power play. Let's go to our power play. Offense power play 9. Absolutely nothing. That's the thing, is they got a ton of power play. Their power play percentage was horrible. They should have put that series away in the power play. So Canada was playing a man down quite often. So it's going to be defense now, and a defense 10. So a defense 10 is absolutely nothing for Canada. So the end of the first period now. Did I read the wrong card? I do that all the time, though. I read the wrong card all the time. It was the same result. I read the wrong card all the time. I get the offense and defense confused. I do. I'm doing my best here. All right, so we got defense and a defense 13, right? Defense 13 on Canada, and that's gonna be a power play. So it's gonna be a power play again. I'm kind of talking and chewing gum, and I'm not doing a good time with it. I'm streaming and chewing gum, and I can't do that. So we have a defense power play for Russia. So the power play is over here with an 11, and that's going to be absolutely nothing. So after 1, Russia has 1. And now let's go to Canada, see if they can get anything going on here. So they're going to be off the offense. And we have an 11 over here on the offense, and that's going to be nothing either. So the score after 1, it's going to be USSR 1 and Canada 1. Okay, so we have a little bit of drama going on here. So Esposito in the net now, keeping the fort down for them. Russia will roll, and they're going to get a defense 8. So we'll go to Canada defense, see if I get this right. And that's a goal! Off the Canada defense, right? That's a goal for Russia. And so that goal will come here in the second period. That'll be early in the second period. So we're going to call this like about 1:30 of the second period. So, yeah, we'll just kind of do that. All right, let's see who gets that goal for Russia. And it's going to be 83. That's going to be Alexander Budanov. So Budanov is good enough. And he will get that goal. And 45 on the first assist is going to be Kharlamov. Oh, it was Harlamov or Kharlamov? I've heard it a couple different ways. So Harlamov, do they get a second assist? Nope, they don't. All righty, so Russia takes a 2-1 lead as their first lead of the series as Vinny's collating some bank shot basketball sets. So if that arrived yesterday, you had company yesterday. What did you do? Did you have the company like just send them away while you open your packages? I mean, that's what I would have done. If I got a new season of bank shot in, if I had company over, sorry, sorry, I need to open this and go through this, and then we'll resume our party after that. That's what it done. I'm kidding, maybe. All right, Canada down 2-1. Offense. And an offense 8-0. So Russia will skate with a lead for the first time here in segment 6. Offense 8, right? Offense 8. Offense 8 for Russia. And that's a goal. They will score again. So a couple of goals here in the second period by the Russians. 09 is going to get this one. That's going to be Yakushev. So Yakushev, I was going to put Yaku on here. He'll get this goal. And that's about midway points. We're going to put 10 minutes, about halfway through this period here. The first assist will be 55, so that'll be Petrov. So Petrov picking up his second assist of the game. And there will be a second assist of 63. And Anderson. All right, so if you get a headache, just take that Anderson. And so it is now 3-1 Russia here, you know. And Barbara's, she can only round corners so fast. That's the thing. So she's still behind on rounding corners, you know. And John says, need to make a custom corner rounder, a raffle prize at D2D-Con. Well, you know what we're going to do next year at D2D-Con? When you enter, part of your fee is going to be, you have to round one team of corners for either me or Vinny. And we'll have the team stacked up at the door. You got to go in and just corner one team. It'll take you 5 minutes, but that'll be part of the admission fee. Okay. And now they're talking about bowling. Holy cow. Marco comes on here talking soccer. Now John's talking about bowling here. Vin, we got to do something about this. We got to do something about this. All right, so it is 3-1 now for the Russians, and Canadians going to be rolling here, and they're getting booed. Boo. So we have a defense 11. Defense 11, and that's going to be nothing. And Phil Esposito is going to have to give his speech to the crowd after this one. And so now we have defense 14. Yeah. No. 16. Defense 16. So we have defense 16. That's going to be a power play. So a defensive power play. And we have a power play 8. And that's going to be nothing for Russia. Okay. Canada. In segment 7, they're going to get offense. And it's going to be offense, 13? Offense 13. Nothing. So here in Toronto, things aren't going too well for Canada. Down 3-1. Offense 10 for Russia. Power play. Everything's been a power play here. Power play offense 14. Goal! Power play goal for Russia. And they are taking it to Montreal. Oh, the Montreal Canadiens, the Canadians. And let's see who gets this goal here as this comes later in the period. 08, that's going to be Yakushev again. So Yakushev with his second goal of the night. And that comes, I'm going to say right around 2 minutes to go. So right around the 18-minute mark of this period here. And let's see if we're going to have this right here. 56. So the first of 6 will be Petrov again. So Petrov has been all over the ice here for the Russians. And 54, no, so just the one assist. So last roll of the period for Canada, trailing 4-1. Offense 9. And they will score. They will get the goal here. So they will back late in the second period, the 19-minute mark of the second period. Canada survives with a goal here, cutting the lead to 4-2, 26. And Henderson's going to cash in here. So Henderson with a goal and an assist so far. And let's see, do we have assists here? I got a 92 on the assist. Red Berenson, I don't even know if he played in this game, but Red Berenson will get one. Is there a second assist? No. So Canada will get one in. So they have 2. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4-2, Russia, as we go into period number 3. Have I heard that the old PC version of Above the Rim basketball coming out soon? No, but that would be fantastic. That'll be a fun one to play. I forget which one I play. I have a computer basketball game plays just like Strat. I forget what the name of it is, and I don't want to close this out and lose my screen here. But it's well, let me see what it is. Hang on a sec. It is Hoops PC. So I have Hoops PC that I really like. It's just tough to stream and watch, so I don't really stream it too much, but I enjoy playing it. But that would be a fun little PC version for Above the Rim. Alrighty. And what do we have here now? All right, so third period, 4-2. The Russians looking to even up the series. They lost game one 5-2. They lost game one 5-2. So they're leading this one here 4-2. So we're going to get a defense 11. And a defense 11, that'll be on the power play. So defensive power play 8. Nothing for the Russians on the power play. As Scott comes by. Scott, how was the bank shot basketball going? He was playing that last night, and I haven't played that in so long. He asked me a question. I actually got the answer wrong. It was just only about flipping a card or whatever. But I need to put that back on the table and get back because that was so fun. I enjoyed the heck out of that. I really did. I'm glad you're playing it. As everyone's saying hi to Scott. So we got a defense here and a defense 13. Defense 13 is nothing for Canada. Okay. I see. Look at Scott. Look at how he's so efficient. He puts all the hellos in one, so he doesn't have to do them separately. He is so efficient, that guy. It's unbelievable. He can watch 60 minutes in a half hour, that guy. All right, so we have a 10, a defensive 10 now for Russia. And a 10 is going to be a power play. Let's go on the power play. Defense power play 12. That's a power play goal. Right? That's another goal, and it's another power play. That's 3 power play goals in this one, and they've now opened up a 5-2 lead. And this goal will be 27. So Shadreen. So in this, so Shadreen gets his second of the game. This is in the third period, and we're in the second frame here. So I'm going to say about 5 minutes into this third period. 22 on the assist is going to be Maltsev. And let's see if there's a second assist. And yeah, there will be. And then a second assist, 92 is going to be Bulinov, Yuri Blinov. So Blinov will get one here. And it's now 5-2. And Canada is in some trouble here in Toronto. After a nice, easy win in game one, it hasn't been easy here. So we have a 15, right? 12 and 3 is 15 on the offense. That's a goal. So Canada will cash in. They'll get it right back. And let's see who's going to get this goal for Canada to cut it to 5-3. 4. Well, it's going to be Esposito again. So Esposito gets this goal in the third period. And so if that goal is at 5 minutes, we're going to say about 7 minutes. I'll go a couple of minutes every flip here. And let's see who's going to get the assist here. Oh boy. So if that's a 2, he called his own number, so that's unassisted. I'm going to play it unassisted. That's how I'm going to do it, is unassisted here. And so it's going to be a 5-3 game now as we go to Russia here in segment 11. It's getting late now. We're about halfway through the period. Yeah, because we've already done 2. So we're at the 10-minute mark, if you will. They're going to get a defense, and a defense 13 is another power play. So power play here. And I have a 10 on the defensive power play, and that's nothing. Phil asked how the Soviet goalie Tretiak would have fared in the NHL. You know what I did is I have the Summit Series in Action PC Hockey, and I put him in a couple of Karlamov, and who was the other guy I put on the team? Was it Petrov? I think I put Petrov. No, Mikhailov. Mikhailov and Harlamov with Tretiak and net. I put them on the 74 Bruins, and they were terrible. And after like 15 to 20 games, I dropped them all the way down to the third line. So again, that's just a computer game, and call it what you will. But I did try that in Action PC. It would be fun though, if you could get their ratings and put them in like I could put them in Hockey Bones actually, because if I have the cards for Hockey Bones, I drop them into 72, right? Yeah, that might be a fun little product. Is play a couple of games with them. I'm pretty sure I have the Summit series in Hockey Bones. I'm pretty sure. All right, so segment 11. Well, it's going to be defense, and a defense 12. Power play for Canada. Can they cash in on the defense power play? Need a high roll. 8, not going to do it. So nothing. So this is it. 5-3. We're going to roll Russia first. So they're going to get offense 11. That'll be a power play. Can they put home a power play here? And a 6, so an offensive power play. Ooh, so close. But nope. All righty, so they now have 5. So 5 for Russia, 3 for Canada. Well, let's try the goalie pull thing, right? We haven't done the goalie pull thing, so we got to roll a 72 to pull the goalie, all right? Yes, we will pull the goalie. All right, so we're going to play with this empty net thing over here. Now, I haven't used this more than a couple times, so let's see if we can figure this out. So we're going to roll 2D if we get the empty net number, which we did. Now we roll 3D6. We look at the first goal opportunity here. If the first chance is a goal, then we can proceed. If it's not, then the game ends. Okay, so here we go. So they're going to take out Esposito. It is 5-3. I don't need that. So we have an 8. An 8 is us. Let's get empty net goal. So that's we're gonna put the goal over here. So that'll be an empty net goal is what it's gonna be. And so that's gonna change that to a 6. I knew if I totaled that up, I would mess it up. And it's gonna be a 3. And so that'll be our final 6-3. Let's see who gets that empty net goal for the Russians, and it's gonna be 30. And so that'll be Harlamov. So Harlamov scoring into the empty net at 19 minutes. Empty net goal. 6. Shadrin, 1 assist. Is there a second assist? Yes, there is. And we're going to give that one to Lyapkin. And that is our final here. So the series is even. That's a 6-3 final. So game 1 goes to Canada, 5-2. And this one here is Russia, 6-3. And that is 2 new teams you can play for Red Ice Hockey. And I hope you enjoyed those here. And this is, again, this is really fun. Oh, and the corners are rounded, by the way. Corners are rounded. Look at that. I had the nice dark background so you can see how the corners are rounded. And so, yep. So you're all set here. So hopefully I played this mostly correct. Mostly, if you will. But anyway, that was fun. So thanks so much to John for putting that together and getting those teams out for us so we can play some more Red Ice Hockey, because that is such a fun game to play. And I even have I did is I have the box over here, and so I put the basketball in here too, so I have everything all in one. So if I need to get at the basketball or the hockey, I have it in my Red Ice box here. So again, John, thank you so much. So that concludes the breaking news part of the show. And so I'm wondering how everybody's doing. We can do a quick little chat here just to see how everyone's doing. Well, as you can tell, I'm out of my gaming funk thanks to the 49 Quick Decks hockey and the highlight hockey. I don't know which one I like better. I've been playing more of the highlight hockey because that one only takes about 20 minutes. So I did that I did my first 2 games of the 81-82 hockey project is what I did. and it was fun. It was fun playing those. Takes me, I don't know, 20 minutes to a half hour. I take my time, but I can play the highlight game pretty quick. And I need to get back to the full game. So Joe says, excellent express game. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So again, powderbluesports.com, I believe, is the website. Go there and pick up the new 1972 Summit Series teams to play on your tabletop today. How did that sound? And Brian comes by. Good to see you, Brian. And this game does play very fast. Yes, it does. I'm pretty sure I have the Hockey Bone Summit series. I'm pretty sure I do. I don't know if I played the whole series yet, but I do have the lineups somewhere that it shows you who played in the game, so you can really kind of dress that up. So that's kind of fun too. I forget where my Hockey Blast is. If I do, I think I have it for Hockey Blast. I'll have to look around and see if I can find it. But anyway, and 75, 76 as well. Okay, so that's the one that I'm playing on the 49 Quick Decks. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, you got to order that Quick Deck so we can get more seasons from Grant. We got to do that. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 76, 77. Yeah, that's that ridiculous Canadians team. Holy cow. Yeah, that Canadians team was something else. I don't know if I have. I'm looking over here. That's one season I don't have. I have 74, 75, and 77. I purposely didn't get 76, 77 just because that Canadians team was so good. It's just like, never mind. Never mind. We don't need to play that game. When you have a team that dominant, it's like, yeah. say that again. What? Yeah, no, I'm not getting 76, 77. Ain't going to happen. Be on my tabletop. Yeah, 8 losses on a season. Yeah. Yeah. Well, things are different now. The rules have changed, so they can't pilfer every decent hockey player within 1,000 miles of Canada now. Back then, they would buy. They had a good minor league team. They just bought it. So it's like, yeah, can't do that anymore. And now where they've been? They're back with the VHSs, right? 12-2 in the playoffs. Yeah. Yeah. And Christopher played some Soccer Blast and with some fictional teams and some Highlight Maker hoops. Yep, it's fun. So a couple different topics here. I threw something out in the Patreon today. Is someone wanted to talk about the different kind of tournaments that we can play on our tabletop. So not so much like inviting people over and having a tournament, but how do you hit tournaments here? Like, what are some of the things you do on your tabletop? So I threw that on the Patreon today. So if you're a Patreon listener, let me know what you think on that. And at some point, I'll throw it out to a few other people too. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about different ways you can play on your tabletop. And I'm looking for some ideas too, because I like to play full seasons, but you can't. You just can't play a full season. It just doesn't happen. And so I'm trying to figure out other ways that I get teams on my tabletop. The double elimination is always fun. Sometimes it's just a one-off, So just kind of wondering about some of the ideas. I guess we're looking for tournament ideas, if you will. And Joe and Vinny are kind of going back. That's kind of funny. Joe says, where's this one over here? Play some 49 Quick Decks this morning. Now setting History Maker Baseball on the other table. He's going to play the 47 World Series with History Maker Baseball. Dwayne comes by. This is Mr. Appa Baseball right here. I love watching his Appa stuff. Dwayne, I played the Appa Master in a few months. So many other things just jumped on my table. I still have it out over here so I can get at it and play it, and I do like it. It's real fun because it's real deep. It just takes a lot of concentration, and I just haven't had a chance to play the Master, but it is a fun way. I thought about looking into the Deval boards, the Oz boards, or the Ozzy boards, the Ozzy Osbourne boards, or the Black Sabbath boards. I don't know what they were, but I thought about checking out some of those and seeing if I could work in some of the Master stuff. But I love the hits in the Master game. I love the pitchers, how they have numbers and the batters left and right sway that. I like so much about that. I really, really do. And I like how sometimes you can take home runs away or turn the double to a home run. I do like that. The ballpark effects are kind of fun. There's just a lot of calculations you got to do, but it is really fun. As a math guy, it is really fun. So what else you guys been playing? What is on your tabletop? What is on your computer? What are some of the things you're doing? I haven't been back to Oblivion on my computer in quite some time. I was all excited about that. I probably played 10 or 12 hours of Oblivion, and I haven't gone back to it. And they just had a big update that I downloaded, but I haven't back to it. I missed the Steam sale. There was a whole bunch of games I was kind of looking at on Steam, and somehow yesterday, I think it was, the sale ended, or the day before, and I just completely missed it. I was like, oh, well, I bought so much on Steam last year. I was trying all these deck building games, and they were okay, but I just haven't done too much of it. And John's playing the 2020 COVID tourney, NCAA tourney with Baseline Basketball, and you can't play full seasons. So what is let me see. Chris says, can't play full zero, stick to any one product. What I do is play a lifeline competition and a running competition of all the teams I have. It keeps a running total. I knew someone else did that too. I remember talking to Ron about that one time. He said there's some people that they play all these different games, but they keep track of the team's wins, losses, like overall. That's a really interesting idea. It really is. And AP is playing Inside Pitch for the PC. Very nice. And yeah, 49 highlight is released. Yep, you can get the highlight for that. I recommend it. I think if you buy the 49 Quick Decks Hockey, you can throw in the highlight for like $15 or something like that. And it's just a couple extra deck of cards in an instruction manual. Well worth it. Well worth it, because I'm playing the full Quick Decks Hockey, and I really liked it. And then when I played the highlights, I was like, oh man, I can cut down the game time and still have a feel of like Decks Hockey. It was kind of fun. And then you got the Red Ice, which I just played, which plays even faster than all those, if you want to do that. So again, we have a variety of games that we can play, and it's really kind of fun to play them all. Joe's still back with his XHL. I haven't opened that yet. I want to get at that. And let's see over here. Over here, the Wolverine comes by. Just bought 1919 season ticket baseball. Can't wait to get that on your table. Okay, so now Wolverine, what were some of the teams or the players I'd be looking at that? Because I'm not real familiar with that era. I mean, I do have the Chicago Whales in 1915 Federal League, but aside from that, so what are some of the teams in 1919 that would be looking at here? Okay. And so Vinny has a friend in Canada that's playing that. And Chris says that he randomly matches up the various teams that he's playing his overall product. I've heard of someone doing that, and that is really kind of cool. That you could just, I could like play the Bruins in different eras and different things and just see how they've done on my table over the years. That's what I should have done. I didn't keep many of my replay stuff. I just ran out of space, so I started throwing that stuff away. I was like, I don't need this. I don't need that. So, okay, so that was the Black Sox scandal. And Shoeless Joe Jackson. Okay. Uh-oh. We have an alert. We have an alert here. Hang on a sec. We have an alert. Barbara is going to play some action PC baseball tonight. That's going to be cool. So now she's almost officially in the group. Almost officially in the group now. Let us know what teams you play and what year and the whole bit and how it goes. If you've got any questions, let somebody know, and somebody will try to help you out with that. And so, yes, that was breaking news. Breaking news. Barbara's going to be playing some action PC. The fun thing about those games, Barbara, is they're just so relaxing. Relaxing is the key. When I used to play video games, you know me, I used to scream and yell, throw my controller. I had a lot of fun, but it could be very maddening. And these games here are just so fun. You saw what I just did here with Red Ice Hockey. It's just so relaxing. I just so look forward to it. I just can't wait to come down and play some of these games. And I have so many great games to play. It's sometimes it's hard to figure out which one I want to play. As yeah, AP got a little chuckle out of that. Yes, he did. So Shoeless Joe Jackson, Eddie Cicotte. I've heard of the Shoeless Joe Jackson. Wasn't he like a was he a New England native? Is that what I heard? Not 100% sure about that. But so, oh, here are my games, by the way. Not that I want to take away from the red ice announcement here, but as we continue the hockey theme, I did play. Let me go over show you what I got here. Um, so I played last night a couple of games from the project, the 8182 product. Let me kind of zoom right in here and show you what I got. So this is what happened. So I played Toronto and Colorado. Toronto come away with a 3-2 win. I can see I had Vive, Anderson, Wilf, Paymont got the game-winning goal 15 minutes into that third period. And for Colorado's got some decent guys. Broughton, Tambellini, Lanny McDonald, Brent Ashton. So they cashed in, so it was 3-2. And Trombley got the win. I forgot Phil Muir played with Colorado. I'll show you those cards in 1 second. And then the second game I played, it was that same Toronto team. It was the next night, actually. It was 11-6 and 11-7. And they went into LA and they beat up LA. I think the final score in real life was like 9-4. And so we beat them up pretty good. And Don Luce, which I didn't really realize was playing with Toronto at the time, but he actually was in that game. And he scored. Oh, no. I'm trying to find the teams that I printed out for that so I could show you them. Oh, here they are. So that's what happened last night. Let me get out my teams over here. And this Durlago guy, he's been having a couple of games for me in Toronto. He's been like all over the place. And so they had Lassard get lit up for 5. He got lit up for 9 in real life. And then Jansen had the only goal here halfway through that third period. So that was my other score. And so here's the teams I printed out using the Excel. And I just dropped different guys in is what I did because the standard one had some different guys on there. But Rene Robert was with Toronto in this game. Of course, Daryl Sittler, we know. Boya Salmon was good too. But here's this Durlago guy, but he's got this pass assist of 16. So every time I went to the highest guy, he was involved. So that was really kind of fun. Barry Melrose played in this game for Toronto. I didn't realize he was Toronto. And Michel Larocque and I don't remember Bob Parent. But was that Buddy Larocque, Michel Larocque? It was 2 different people here. But Vincent Tremblay was in the net, and he got both wins for Toronto on my 2 playthroughs. That was kind of wild. And do you know what I do that's kind of fun? And I'll show you. Let me back out just a smidge here. And I'll show you what I did with Colorado. So here's Colorado. Now, on their sheet here, Lanny McDonald was an extra guy, okay, for Colorado. So just kind of get rid of some of the fade there, if you will. So what I did is I dropped Lanny McDonald up here because they had a guy up here on right wing that wasn't playing. I don't know if it was later in the season or what it was that he came in. But I had Lanny McDonald, so I dropped him in, and then I had to slide some people up. It's really kind of fun, actually. It's like a little mini game when I was setting this up here for some of these teams, because I look at what Grant had for a base, and then I compared to who played in the game. So then I go into Excel, and if they didn't play in the game, then I dropped somebody else in. But the thing is, they had a really good right winger that wasn't playing, so I needed to slide some people. So I think this one of these guys here, Contola or somebody like that, was back here, and I had to slide him up. It was Broughton. Broughton was here, and I slid him up because the left winger that Grant had didn't play in the game, so I needed to slide the next best left winger up. So it is kind of fun creating your own lines when I do this with Quick Decks Hockey. Is when they're missing a decent guy, if he's not in the lineup, then I can't just bring in the guy from the bench, because if I brought in like this guy here, he's 2-1-1, and he's this Ivan Vatur guy, he wouldn't play second line. So if the second line left winger is out, then I got to bring up the third line left winger, and everybody slides up, and then I bring in the bottom guy for the fourth line. I was really, really having fun doing that. And I know it's just kind of for one game, although I did grab 2 games for Toronto, so I was able to use this lineup card for 2 back-to-back games, which was fun. But it's kind of fun creating a lineup for the particular game, and it does kind of suck that I might only use this once or whatever or twice, but I suppose I could keep them, just kind of use them for a one-off, is what I did. But I did that too when I did the Kings. There was a couple of guys that weren't in the lineup, and so I had to slide them up. And what I do too, I don't know about what you guys do, but you can see here that they if they have 6 defensemen here, they're always missing one on the 4th line. So I bring whoever's open here. I bring the first line guy down and I double shift him. So Dave, there was an open right wing slot, so Dave Taylor double shifted. And if I show you here on Toronto, who did I double shift over here? There's always somebody double shift. No, was there somebody I double shifted? Maybe not. Maybe they had a full squad and I didn't need to double shift over here. Because usually I bring someone down. So over here I didn't have to double shift. And over here, yeah, see how I got Tambellini? So he double shifted down here. So if I don't have enough guys, if I'm missing one, then I drop a first line guy down and I double shift them. That's what I do when I play on the table with cards and dice too. Is I will drop a guy down. And so I can't believe I didn't bring anybody down over here for Toronto. I don't know why I didn't do that. I might have screwed up somewhere here. Maybe not. Because they wouldn't have all these guys playing, but I put them all in anyway, and just that's what I did. So I don't know, just kind of what I do here is have some fun, and it's like a mini game. Like I say, I was really, really, really enjoying that. The having well, now I'm all blurry here. Is having those guys. What I'm saying is like, okay, this guy didn't play, so now what do I do? I'm missing my second line left winger. So do I just bring a guy from the bench, or do I slide the third line up there? What do I do? And there was some guys. There was one game I had 2 left wingers and like 5 right wingers. So someone had to jump on the left wing. So I was able to play like coach. It was really fun. I was able to play as the coach, setting my lineup. And I'm like, let me see. I want to put this guy here, and this guy would be good right here. And it was really fun. It took me like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so to set up each lineup card, but I had fun. And then I printed it. I've been using 80-pound stock. I got this 80-pound stock. It's not wicked heavy, but it's thicker than a piece of paper, and it wasn't that cheap, and it's nice and bright. It's like wicked bright. So I've been printing a lot using that 80-pound stock. So it's even if I only use it once, it's only that the paper wasn't that expensive, and it was fun. The whole thing was just fun. The whole experience was fun. So that's what I'm trying to get at. If it pleases the court, it was fun. And John says Matt Holliday's son Ethan was drafted by the Rockies. That's pretty cool. And Phil says Joe Cirello was a solid player and original Devil when the team moved to New Jersey. Was also a Ranger. Okay. Barry Beck, he was on the Rockies, but he wasn't in this particular game. I'm not sure when Beck went, because Beck was with the Rangers and another team too. I think Wolf Paymont, actually, who was on that Toronto list, played for the Rockies too, because he was with Kansas City, is what it was. And David Railfan, I didn't see this over here. He's playing 1001 free agents in Action PC Baseball and created teams. And he's got the colors and the logos. Very nice. Oh, Barbara's playing 61 Yankees. Okay, that should be fun. Oh, is it Yankees or Mets? Oh boy, I don't know if it's Yankees or Mets. I think she's Mets. Right? You're Mets, right? Not Yankees. Were the Mets around in 61? I don't even remember. And Jackson was in South Carolina, so I'm way off of that. Okay. And so Ty Cobb, Wally Pipp, Roger Hornsby in the range, and Walter Johnson also played back then. And what else is going on over here in the chat room? Brian says, how much interest are there in alternate sports like the Fury games or Grid Zone? Or do I stick with real sports? I have the Fury football. It is fun. And every now and then I get in the mood for something like that. But for the most part, when I play, I like to go back. Like I said, you see the teams I pulled out and all the names and how I was like, ooh, in an hour and over the names. That's what I like playing. I like to go back and play the players that I have, like the baseball cards or the hockey cards, or just pictures of them in Hockey Digest that I remember. That's what I enjoy playing for the most part. But every now and then you do want to play something a little bit different. Whether it's Fury Football, something like that. I was having fun with Fury Football. I even bought the expansion, and what I was gonna do with that, I was gonna play. I think I got was it 4 teams or 4, 6, or 8 teams that came with Fury Football. I forget what it was. So I was gonna have everybody play everybody once for a quick season, and then I was gonna have this draft to see which of the expansion teams would come in, and I was just gonna like roll dice to see if any of the first teams dropped out, and if they would just be replaced, or if I was gonna add to it. I was just gonna make a mini game out of it, just to see, just for fun, and then I could expand the league a little bit. I never got to get back to that, but okay, Michelle was Bunny Laura. Okay, okay. And PJ was driving around Long Island with a Rocky Hockey bumper sticker on his station wagon. How is that station wagon? I bet you have that station wagon. That's my guess. My guess is you still have that station wagon and that Rocky Hockey bumper sticker. And he's got the Marouk sticker as well. And Beck played for Colorado in 79-80. Okay, so he was already out of there right now. I need to watch 8 Men Out. Is that like 8 Is Enough with Willie Ames and Dick Van Patten? That was a good show. It really was. Fenner's on. Good to see you, Fenner. And Rabbit Wolverine says 8 Is Enough is a great TV series. Christopher says he's interested in the Fury games. He's played a few of them. He needs to play more and get smoother with them. They are fun. What the fun thing about that Fury Football is I created a couple of homebrew rules, if you will. I hate using that term. That's what it is. And whereas you could kick a field goal at any time, and you would get the 3 points for it. But then you go again. That was the end of your turn. But there was sometimes that it made sense to kick the field goal, take the 3 points rather than not get any points. And so I added that into the game, and that made it really kind of fun. It really was. So that's one game you can just go and have a lot of fun with. So many fun games. When you think about it, we have so many fun games. And it's like, I don't know what to play. I played Red Ice tonight, and I was like, oh, man, that game is so fun. I haven't played that since Connecticut. That's been fun. And then the 49 Quick Decks. Then I get Bank Shot over here. I was like, oh, then I got the Apple Football. I haven't played that in forever. I need to dig that out. I had time off, too, and I didn't play one single game of Apple Football. Yeah. But then it was a Joe Cards I was talking to. And I don't know if we were talking, if we were texting. And this 49 Quick Decks hockey just come out of nowhere. It's just like, where did this game come from? And how did this game just shoot to the top of my gaming list? And I know it's new, and Vin and I are going to talk about that at some point, the new games. But it had some staying power. It did, and it come out of nowhere. And I didn't think I'd like the game. You get this thing here. I don't know if I can do this without spilling this. I'm going to probably spill this, so I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. But, you got this game, right? And you got this thing right here, right? I'll go overhead. And so you got all these little things here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, all these little pegs. Oh, my head hurts looking at this. You know something? This is so fun. This is so fun. Let me make my camera a little bit bigger. This is so fun. This track. Oh my gosh. And the strategies up here. I like this. It sets up so fast, and you just keep track of everything. And it's like, oh man, it's just a little track to keep track of your lines, and then the offensive checks. And if, are they rated to take the shot? It's ingenious. I don't know how Grant did it. I don't know how anybody does it, but it just was really, really fun. And I enjoy it. I look forward to moving along the track to see what the player is going to be and what lines out there. I really do. And oh wow, we have a celebrity sighting in here. All righty. So John was in the movie Rabbit. He was in the crowd for a few of the games. Fantastic. I didn't know we had a celebrity sighting in here. That is really cool. And had an ex brother-in-law that was one of the White Sox. That is pretty cool. And yeah, Beck was with Colorado, but he did move on a little bit. Feder coming by again, checking in what he's playing. We just talked to him a minute ago, but he's checking in again. He says, "I played History Maker Golf last night. That's my favorite play game," and it says it's his favorite play game. So he'll be getting everything for that game this year. Yeah, they asked me that. They put me on the spot out there in Colorado during the panel because they know I'm just not a big History Maker baseball guy. Just right now, it doesn't work for me. I have so many other baseball games that do work. And again, baseball's not my favorite sport, but everyone likes that game. And it just, for me, I have a hard time. And so they said, "What's your favorite play game?" And everyone says baseball. And I'm like, "No, of course it's going to be golf for me. I do like the golf. I do like the golf very much, For games that have instructions to rate players, does anybody here rate their own players or teams? I tinker with it. Helps me figure out what makes these games tick. I've tried a few times, and I found that I have a hard time doing that. And I've done it a couple of times, and not with great success. I want to let the people who did the game, you rate them because you know what you're doing. And I tried a couple of times, and I couldn't even match up what was already there. So I'm like, yeah, I'd rather play. I'd rather just play. Unless there's a season that I have to have in a game that I really enjoy playing and that they're never going to come out with that season. And I'll try to do that. But I would rather play than try to come up with my own teams and stuff. All right, so the Mets were 62. Okay. I didn't think they were that old. And Barbara says, "I am Mets, but don't know until I unzip the file to see who it is. I don't care. She just wants to play." Yep. And they just had some more sales this weekend on Action PC, by the way. I think the code was Walt or something like that. Yeah, and the Fury games are fun to break up. I will agree with that. Sometimes you need a palate cleanser, 61 was Roger something or other, 61 home run season. And then yeah, PJ needed a wagon in the band. Still got some chicks. Yeah, I bet you still get chicks with that wagon. Yep. Yep. And he broke some guy named Ruth broke his record. Yep. Yep. Dave, when you did that with field goals, you make a range where the kick was successful, unsuccessful. Yeah, well, basically, I just rolled the dice. So if you were in spot 6 and you rolled the dice, you needed a 6. So it's kind of like when you went for the extra points, you could back it up to wherever you wanted to go. Then you rolled the dice. I haven't played that in a while, but it was something to that effect. So wherever you were, you could try to kick a field goal. And if you were short, it just turned into a punt, and so it just landed short. So it was like a punt, if you will. So that's kind of what I did with the kick. So what I use it for is like if you were late in the game and it was tied or it was close, and you were only one away from the goal line, and you didn't want to try a run or a pass or something like that, you could kick that field goal unattested and put it through the uprights and take the 3 points and go home. Is kind of what that was supposed to be. It was just kind of solidifying three easy points, if you will. And there was no guarantee you're going to make it. You could still come up short. And then at that point, you gave up the ball because in Fury football, if I remember correctly, if you scored, you get the ball back. And you just keep going until you don't score. So at that point there, you could kind of be like, I'm going to freeze and take the 3 points and then give the ball back. But you would at least be able to chance to get 3 points. That's just kind of how I did it, Can you track full stats with quick decks like shots? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. In the highlight version, no. The highlight version's more like Shootout or Stone Cold, where you're just getting goals and assists. If you play the full game of the quick decks, it's called quick decks, but it's a full play game. That is everything. That's just like your Strat, your APA, and your hockey bones. Whereas you get everything. You get every shot, every save, every rebound, every penalty, every play. You go a minute at a time, and you get a lot of action in that minute. So that's the full play game. So yes, when you get the 49 quick decks, you get everything. If you want to play the highlight version of it, it just plays a lot faster. You can play it in 20 minutes and still have a fun time with it. It's still a super fun time. I don't know why I was having problems with it in the beginning, but now that game is flying for me. And so you can play, faster games and more games, if you will, and still have a really good time. But if you really want to really dive into Thanksgiving dinner and get all the stats, then that's when you play the fuller version, the quick decks. And Joe was on an episode of Law and Order Special Victims Unit. You guys are all celebrities here. I don't think I was ever on anything like that. I was on Nesson a few times, but that was about it. Nesson's the sports station up here. I was in the crowd right behind the net. You could clearly see it was me because we had first row seats. I don't think I've ever really been on the TV that I can think of, good or bad. But no, that's awesome. You guys do that. And just back here in the chat, and Vinny owns all the seasons. He's an avid golfer. Yes, he is. He likes St. Andrews. And AP says, I can't believe the NHL is thinking about expanding to Atlanta again. Not. I mean, the second one should have worked. Thrashers should have worked. The Flames, well, they went 8 years. The Flames lasted 8 years. So that was pretty good. I had a terrific playoff series. I don't know if you saw that. My playoff series with the Flames and the Kings. Ooh, that was a good one. 75-76 opening round, best of 3. I used to love the best of 3 series. Atlanta won in LA. LA won in Atlanta, both coming back in the third period with comebacks. And then LA won in overtime on a power play. Butch Goring scored on the power play to give the Kings the win at home in Game 3. That was just with the highlights. That wasn't even with the full game. That was with the highlight version. That's how much fun that was. But yeah, going back to Atlanta, oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know about going back to Atlanta. Atlanta, weren't they the fans that didn't even sell out the World Series a couple times? You got the Braves going to the World Series, and they didn't even fill out, was it Fulton County Stadium? It's like, oh, come on. You're in the World Series, and you can't pack the house. And they went to the World Series 37 years in a row, and they still had a problem getting people there. Maybe because they went so many times. Although when New England was going to all those AFC Championship games and Super Bowls, you couldn't get a ticket. You couldn't get a ticket. Quebec, that's interesting. I think they just build a new rink in Quebec. Is that what I saw? They built a bigger rink up in Quebec. I could be wrong, but I thought they built a rink up there that they were trying to attract the NHL. I mean, if it didn't work, the thing is, when it doesn't work, although Colorado worked, the Rocks didn't work very well in the late 70s and early 80s. But now the Avalanche has been doing well for 30 years now. They've been there 30 years, and even Minnesota. I thought the North Stars would be there forever. But I watched a 3-hour thing on YouTube about the North Stars, about how bad they were. I didn't realize the ownership screwed that team over and had issues. And then they went up. They had these peaks, and everybody would pack the place when they went to the finals. And to come back down, oh man, they lost again. That's one I got to do. Do I have that? That's when I think maybe I'll set that up tonight. All right, so I need to go to my 49 quick decks folder here. Do I have 8081? I think I do. Do I have the Excel? Did Grant send me that yet? I thought he did. Yeah. Excuse me. So I could play. Yeah, so I have Minnesota here. Yeah, I do. I could play that series. I could play that Minnesota Islander series. I think I will. I think I'll set that up and play that series. That'd be kind of fun. So who they have in net? Goalie cards. So they had Beaupre, Maloche. Oh, good. I'm happy that Maloche got to the finals. I was a Maloche guy. He's stuck with them, right, from California to Cleveland to Minnesota. Good for him. And then the Islanders, it's just ridiculous. I'm looking at some of the scoring here. Trottier, Gillies, and Bossy, 10, 8, and 10 inside shots. Anders Callers, 11 for an inside shot. Oh, I just can't beat them. And then Billy Smith and Glenn Rush, 8s and 7s. Well, 7 is good, so their average is 7. And Minnesota, their goalies, their average is 5 or 6. It could be an interesting series. I'll set that up tonight, and I'll play that series out. I think that was that a sweep, or is that 4-1? Let me check. So if I go to 1980 and check that finals out, that was 4-1. So it really wasn't much of a series. Minnesota won game 4 to survive, but they lost. Yeah, I'm going to play that out. I will. I'm going to print those teams up. That's going to be another one of my fun things I should do. But another team in Canada, which is beyond any sense. Well, I was reading something today. Oh, Quebec has had a rink for a few years. Okay. I was reading something the other day about the tax situation. I guess there's 7 teams in the league that it's tax-free. Florida is one of them that you can play tax-free. And so they were trying to figure out why certain teams weren't doing that well. They thought maybe people didn't want to go there because of money reasons. But they said it's only been 7 out of the last 20 seasons. So it's only been 1/3 of the time that comes into play for the Stanley Cup winner. But people are trying to argue that it's just there's some places that it's just too expensive to live and too expensive to play. And Canada was one of them, that people would rather go to a certain state in the United States. So if you get $1 million, that million's not going to turn into $500,000 after taxes and stuff like that. That million will stay pretty close to that million, if you will. And so that comes into play too. And so you got to wonder, why guys won't go there, why guys won't go there. It could be the money thing, and it could be Quebec. That could be the reason. Ryan comes by. Looks like you guys had a good time yesterday, Ryan. We were showing off the new Summit Series that's available now for Red Ice Hockey. The Canadians and the Russians, 1972, 8-game series. You can now play that with Red Ice Hockey. And I did that tonight. And we're tied to 1. Each team won a game. It would be fun. Alan comes by, then we would have another Canadian city that won't win a Stanley Cup in our lifetime. Oh. And Ryan wants to see bigger ice. You know why that will never happen, Ryan? Because they'll have to take out seats. That's why it won't happen, because you got to take out seats. If they could make the ice smaller and put another row or 2 around the ice and charge top dollar for that, they would make the ice small. That's what it would be. AP says Kansas City built a new arena several years ago. They won't go back to Kansas City. No, Kansas City got screwed so bad. They won't go back to Kansas City. It's just not a hockey market. Kansas City's not a hockey market. So I don't think you're going to see that. I still play my scouts here on the channel quite often, though. In fact, I think I'm going to print out the opening day roster, Scouts and Maple Leafs. I like to play that opening day game. I like to play that one. That's what a fun one. Kansas City gives them a run every time. I played that in Strat on the PC, and Toronto needed a shorthanded goal late in the 3rd period to win that game. That's how close it was. And then I played a few other times, and it was close. It wasn't the blowout that I expected. And Rabbit is Canadian, says, I don't think they should put a team in Quebec, go back to Canada. They need to go to Toronto again. Even Winnipeg, they are struggling. Yeah. Another team in Toronto. That'd be hilarious. 2 teams in Toronto, like 2 teams in Chicago. That'd be great. Ryan's been separating replay basketball cards today, and he doesn't have a corner round. We did some live corner rounding here. I need to make that my OnlyFans channel. When I just sit there and I round corners. And I have people pay me thousands of dollars a month just to watch me round corners. Some of those girls make a lot of money. Most don't, but some do. And the commissioner, Charles doesn't like the commissioner. Yeah, I get it. Alan says that would be another team to lose, the Florida team in May. Yep. And taxes do kill some NHL players. They do. They don't make the big baseball bucks or the football bucks. So, they get a, three-quarters of a million or a million. It sounds like a lot, but by the time you break that down, I mean, I wouldn't turn it down, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying they're crying mouth, but it's you see these people, these contracts. Oh man, this gets $5 million. Yeah, well, that probably turns into two pretty quick. And still, that's a lot of them. But you know it's kind of like if you look at your paycheck. You look at your paycheck. Oh man, look at all I made. I grossed this much, and then you see what you get to take home. It's like, yeah. And Phillies was thought to not be a hockey market. Yeah, well, East Coast and North more hockey than Kansas City, I would. Yeah, I still don't like hockey in Florida. Wolverine. It's. I hate to say it. It's just anything south. It just doesn't. I mean, I'm glad for Florida and Marshawn to win it, and it is fun to get down there when they're playing. To go into the nice weather, but for me, hockey really is a snow country type of thing. When you start getting down to Nashville and Carolina and Florida and Texas and Arizona, especially, yeah, I suppose L.A. is fine because it's a major city and you want it out there. And then you got to put another one out there. What do they have? San Jose. And do they have another? They used to have the California Seals in Oakland. I don't think they do, but you would need you'd need two teams in California to make that work. Now they have Vegas and now Utah, which I guess is better than Arizona. Do they? This is okay. Dumb question, but do they have two? Oh, Anaheim. They do have a second team in California. And San Jose. Okay, so they got three now. So they have L.A., Anaheim, and San Jose. So they do have three teams out west, which would make sense. That makes sense. Yeah, the Anaheim Ducks. Yeah, I had to go look that up. I drew a blank. I really did. Yeah, Houston. Houston. I guess if they got Dallas to put Houston there, that would definitely be a nice rivalry, I guess, if you will. And Alan says one radio guy said that there were 18,168 hockey fans in Philly, and they all attended each game at the Spectrum. Well, as long as they showed up and they paid, right? Then they went on a winning streak in the early 70s. So, and Vinny's, what's that? Is that Ultimate Frisbee? Scotty Scheffler won $60 million last year playing Ultimate Frisbee. Oh, good for him. Good for him. And let's see. It seems we here in Florida own the NHL right now. Yeah, you guys, I mean, it's unbelievable. They between Tampa and Florida, good for them. And Vinny says he netted half of that, 30 million. Yeah, I don't doubt it. So, anyway, well, before I wrap up here, I just wanted to come on and show you that. So, again, just kind of recapping our top news. Red Ice Hockey has just released the Summit Series, the 1972 Summit Series between Canada and Russia. Go get it. Get it now. Get a hold of John or go download it from the website, whatever you want to do. But powderbluesports.com, it's now available to go play. So now you can play that 8-game series with Red Ice Hockey. Go do that. And we'll have another show on this week. We got a couple of new topics here. We got a lot of topics that we've been kind of bouncing back and forth. So it's nice to fill up the topic sheet again because that was getting kind of empty for a while. So we'll do that. We have our rebuttal show. We have a couple people coming on that want to rebut some of our last topic, which was I don't like my results. And so that drew some comments. Again, I thought we were pretty respectful. But now, one of the things I did mention is I need to play more than a few games. And now that I played a few games of especially the highlight hockey here, it's pinned out to be quite fun and the scores are much better. It's quite possible I might have been doing something wrong. I thought I was playing it correct. I really did. I thought I was playing it correct, and maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was screwing up, but it seems to be working now. And I'm kind of addicted to it. And I was telling Joe Cards the other night, and Vinny too. I had to pull myself away Was it last night? Yeah, last night I was playing those playoff series, and I was having so much fun, and I printed out a few teams, and I just wanted to keep playing all night. And I finished the series up, and it says it's like after one. It's I need to go to bed, but I didn't want to. I wanted to just keep playing that game because I was in the groove and I was having fun. I didn't want to stop. So anyway, so I got to try to do that tonight. But I'm gonna print out a couple teams. I'm gonna set up that Stanley Cup, and that's the great thing about getting the Excel files. Again, you can just kind of print out whatever lineups you want, set it up, and play. You don't even have to print it out. You just keep it on the screen if you want. But I like having the cards here and just kind of printing them out. And so I'll print out some of the Cup rosters and so that's what I'll do with some of my seasons is kind of have some fun with that. So anyway, all righty. So that is that. Hope you enjoyed the announcement. Hope you enjoyed the games we played tonight. I'm gonna go and prep out some more projects here. Probably some Stanley Cup things. I like to play the playoffs. Is what I like to do. Even though I never really finish them all, but uh, the Stanley Cups I do. But like I played that 75, 76 Kings and Flames. I just wanted to play a series, and that's a series that I think the Kings went on to play the Bruins, so maybe I'll play that series next and see how that goes. But I'll have to print out the 80-81 finals and get that going so I can play that as well. So we'll have a fun time with that. So anyway, all right. So again, I want to thank for everybody that came by tonight and watched us play some red ice hockey and just kind of chatted about some games because that's what we like to do. And we shall talk to you all later. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.